Jody here, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm just going to briefly go over my thoughts on this year's Emmy Award nominations, where I talk about a few of the shows that stood out to me the most, that received nominations, as well as a few of my absolute favorite shows at the moment. So this year's Emmy Award nominations came out not that long ago, and the show that I was the most happy to see receive nominations was The Studio on Apple TV. This is by far one of my favorite new series of the year. It's a really funny, really clever new comedy series that, I don't know, it really works. Everybody on the show just works so well with one another. The guest stars they get on the show every week are just absolutely amazing. And it's just a show that really stood out to me this year for being just really good. And so I was very happy to see it receive nominations. And I really do think it has a really good chance to win in the best comedy category at this year's Emmy Awards. Another show that stood out to me was The Bear. This show, I very much expected to receive nominations. I have to say, I like The Bear. I'm not a super fan of it, though, but I like it. I finally started watching it last year, and I would say it took me about a season and a half to finally start really liking the show. I mean, up to that point for me, it just felt like people were screaming at each other every episode, and it was just a lot. Every episode where all the screaming is happening, it's a lot. What can I say? And I like the show. I understand why it's popular, but it's very much a drama. It's not a comedy, and I don't know. I guess it's just a pet peeve of mine that The Bear is always in the comedy category when it's clearly a drama. It's a great show, like I said. I like it. I understand why it's popular, but it's definitely not a comedy. And I guess I get annoyed slightly as a TV nerd because it potentially could take away an actual comedy winning in that category. But, whatever the case may be, it's a great show. Another show that stood out was Severance. This is a show on Apple TV. When season 1 of the show premiered 3 years ago, I absolutely loved it. It was one of my favorite series of the year that it premiered on Apple TV. 3 years went by, and I remembered, I would say, a lot of the major things that happened in the season, but I forgot a lot of the smaller details of the show. And so I was like, I have to rewatch season 1. So I rewatched season 1, but by the time I did that, I just wasn't interested any longer in watching season 2. So I guess I just have to be in the mood to watch it. So hopefully before the Emmy Awards, I will watch season 2. Another thing I'm going to talk about today is my favorite shows of the moment. The first one is Dexter Resurrection. This is season 2 of the Dexter revival, and this show is just so incredibly good. There's been 3 episodes so far, and every episode has just been amazing. It's like the original Dexter is back on TV again, and I have to say, as the season has been playing out so far, it really feels to me like this might be like the last season of Dexter. I don't know, just a lot of things feel like they're falling into place to make that potentially the case. But we'll see. So far, it's been a really great season, though. Another show that I am super into at the moment is The Buccaneers. This show I took a while to get around to watching, just because I'm not usually someone who's a fan of those classical period kind of pieces. But I have to say, I find myself really liking this show. It's just really good. The acting's great. I love the setting and the scenery, and it's just a show that, I don't know, every episode for season 2 so far has been just absolutely amazing. That's the season I'm currently on. It's just really good. And, it kind of makes me want to get more into Bridgerton again, because I've only seen season 1 of that show. I just finally got around to watching Queen Charlotte. It's just I love the show. This is based on a book, but I haven't read the book, just to let you know in case you like book adaptations. But yeah, that's all I'm going to be talking about today, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, and until next time, bye.